All right, this next activity, this might be the first time you've done this. We're looking at a bill from a restaurant. Okay, it says Jada has a meal in a restaurant. She adds up the prices listed in the menu for everything they order and then gets a subtotal of $42. So a subtotal as opposed to a total. A subtotal is the total of all the things you bought, all of the things you ordered at the restaurant before any tax or tip are left. Okay, so we call that a subtotal. You ordered breadsticks, chicken parm, chef salad, lemonade, lemon soda, and tea, and that adds up to $42. So those are the prices that are shown on the menu. That adds up to $42. But then in addition to that, there's also a sales tax, and when you add those together, you get the total bill. Okay, so every restaurant bill that you have will come with something like that. It'll have the list of items that you ordered, it'll have a subtotal, it'll have a sales tax, and then a total. Sometimes they throw a tip in there too. If you have a big party, they'll throw in an automatic tip. But we can talk about that at a different time. So let's read the questions here. This slide is not difficult. It's just a matter of reading the questions and figuring out what it is they're asking for. So it says when the check comes, it says they also need to pay $3.99 in sales tax. What percent of the subtotal is the sales tax? And it says show your work on the sketch. So we're looking for that percent, right? And percent again is part over whole. Now these questions are all a little bit different. This says what percent of the subtotal is the sales tax? Well, that sales tax would be the part, and the subtotal would be the whole, $42. So divide that out for me. And again, when we're changing that rate to a percent, we're then going to move the decimal over 2 places. Okay, so divide that out and figure out that percentage and put it into our percentage box here, okay? And when you're finished with that, we're going to look at the next question. Says after the tax, the total is $45.99. Now the question's changing. It says what percent of the subtotal is the total? Well, let's see. The subtotal is here. The total is here. What percent of the subtotal is the total? Well, that total is a weird question. The total is your part, and the subtotal is your whole here. It's not weird, it's strange in that the bigger number in this case is going on the bottom, and that's because, or is going on the top. That's because the whole here is the subtotal. We want to know what percent of the subtotal is the total. And we're going to divide that out again, move the decimal 2 places, and think about, are these two numbers related to each other? Now that last question on the slide says they actually pay $52.99. The additional $7 is a tip for the server. What percent of the subtotal is the tip? So again, think there, what's the part and what's the whole? Divide that out and then change it into a percentage. See if you can get that one right, okay? So try to fill in those 3 boxes.